You Choose Ancient China, Chapter 5, China's Past, Present, and Future. The rich culture of ancient China caused the legendary explorer Marco Polo to describe it as a land of wonders. Instead of focusing on conquering their neighbors, the Chinese people focused on art, science, and technology. The Chinese created fireworks, gunpowder, and the mechanical crossbow. Many experts believe they built the first cannons as well. The Chinese invented the wheelbarrow, which they called a wooden ox. They used a water wheel to power the first clocks. They discovered magnetism and made the first compass. The Chinese are also credited with the first kites, the umbrella, the rudder used for steering ships, matches, the game of chess, and even an early earthquake detector. One of the ancient Chinese people's greatest achievements was the Great Wall, parts of which still stand. The building of the wall spanned several dynasties and helped to protect the country from invaders from the north. Today, the wall is seen as one of the major architectural accomplishments of mankind. The Qin dynasty succeeded in adopting one written language for the entire country. Roads were built across the country, making it easier to travel and trade. Canals were introduced. One kind of money was created. During the Ming dynasty, the arts reached new heights. Painters created landscapes on silk and paper. Other craftsmen made beautiful sculptures, jewelry, porcelain dishes, and textiles. Literature and poetry became popular, and many of the poets of this era are still read today. Modern-day China is one of the world's leading producers of nearly any product one can imagine. This manufacturing boom has led China to establish business relations across the globe. The influence of the West can be seen in China's cars, furniture, and even entertainment. But the customs of ancient China remain in place and still govern the people's everyday lives. For example, Confucianism is still important in China. Though forbidden during the Qin dynasty, Confucianism was a leading philosophy of Chinese people for 2,000 years. Even today, millions continue to follow Confucius' teachings, which are based on manners, respect, and personal responsibility. In China, the past is as honored as the present. Timeline: 2100 BC. Some historians believe the era of ancient China begins. 600 BC. Lao Tzu founds Taoism. 551 BC. Chinese teacher and philosopher Confucius is born. 479 BC. Confucius dies. 259 BC. First emperor of China, Qin Shi Huangdi, is born. 221 BC. The Qin dynasty begins. 220 BC. Construction begins on the Great Wall of China. 213 BC. Many books are destroyed by order of the emperor, including the Analects, which contains the teachings of Confucius. 210 BC. Qin Shi Huangdi dies. 206 BC. The Han dynasty begins. 136 BC. Emperor Wu Di makes Confucianism the basis for government and official ideology. AD 105. Paper is invented by the Chinese. 618. The Tang Dynasty begins. 690. Wu Zetian becomes the first and only female emperor to rule China. 850. The Chinese invention of gunpowder changes warfare. 906. The Tang Dynasty ends. 1368. The Ming Dynasty begins. Work starts on extending and rebuilding the Great Wall with brick. 1402. Ming Chengzu, considered one of the greatest of all emperors, rules until 1424. 1644. The Ming Dynasty ends. Construction stops on the Great Wall. 1911. The Qing Dynasty, the last imperial dynasty of China, ends. That was You Choose Ancient China, an interactive history adventure by Terry Collins. And this is EDU Kidspace. Subscribe for more stories, books, and lessons. And if there's something in particular you'd like to hear more about, leave us a message in the comments.